going on, everyone? My name is Size. With Lords of the Fallen less than a week out from release, I figured I would make a video telling you guys the best classes for each build and some of the unlockable classes you can obtain later in this game. Without any further ado, let's get right into the video. So first up, we're going to be talking about some of the unlockable classes that you can get later in this game. The first class you can get is the Dark Crusader. Now the Dark Crusader is a powerful melee class that has radiant powers. The starting gear that you can get with this class is the Crusader greatsword, Crusader heavy armor, and Rosary catalyst. Sadly, we don't know his starting stats, we're just going to have to wait until 4 release to find that info out, but based off of the greatsword that he has in the heavy armor, I would assume he's going to be strength based with a substat of probably like vitality and radiance. Sadly, since we don't know his early starting info, I don't feel really 100% comfortable with putting him on like a build, but I would assume anything like strength, radiance based is probably going to be really well with him, and you're probably going to fit right into that whole Crusader playstyle really well. Now, there are 2 ways to unlock the Dark Crusader. One way is to buy the deluxe edition of the game. This will also give you other items in just the class, so I'm going to put a picture on the screen so you guys can see what you get out of the deluxe edition of the game. Now, the other way to unlock them is where people get confused. I've seen a lot of people, and even some content creators, call this class pay to win because they think you have to complete the game to unlock him, or he's like a new game plus class that's locked behind play through the game, which is just not true. Now, I've looked at dev Q&As, interviews, dev notes, and I've never seen any of the devs say that Dark Crusader is a new game plus class. I've also been talking with people in the community that have more knowledge on this topic than I do, and they all seem to believe that the Dark Crusader is going to be unlocked for free if you have not pre-ordered the deluxe edition or bought it before even beating the game. So like some quest or something like that in the game, before you beat it, that you'll go and do to unlock the class and get all the items from that said Dark Crusader. But as of right now, we don't know what that quest is going to be or the parameters to unlock the class, but as soon as we do, I will make a video on it, so stay tuned for that. Now, as my personal opinion, this makes much more sense than it being a new game plus pay to win class. The reason why I say this is because the unlockable classes have unobtainable gear. Here we can see in an interview that they asked, are there any items or upgrades that are unique to New Game Plus? Now he says that if you start a regular new game, you'll still have that class unlocked by virtue of having done one of the quests or finished that ending. These classes are more powerful for sure, and that gear is unobtainable otherwise. So it'd be kind of weird for them to just make a more powerful class and a class with unobtainable gear accessible from the start. In my opinion, this would just make the first playthrough really easy and just destroy the whole balancing of said first playthrough. Now, for the other unlockable classes, we don't know much about them. Thanks to a Reddit post which I'll have linked in the description, we can see the digital art book class designs and get a sneak peek on the other unlockable classes. So I'm not going to talk too much about them because we don't know much info on them. We don't know how to unlock them, what their starting gear is going to be, their starting stats, etc. But we can see the first one is the umbral, the second unlockable is Radiance, and the third is the Inferno. And based on the schools of magic, you guys can take a guess on, what these classes are going to be based around. Alright, with that being said, let's get straight into what classes are best for your builds. So up first, we're going to be talking about the best strength class. And in my opinion, that would be the udirangr warwolf. Now, this class is the highest strength stat, sitting at 16, while it's 13 endurance, 10 agility, and 10 vitality. The starting gear you get with this class is the udirangr warwolf sword, the bloody hatchet, the udirangr warwolf armor, and 2 minor fire salts. Now, this class is the only class that's going to start with a 2-handed sword. So pair that with the highest strength stat out of all starting classes, and you're going to be cutting through enemies like butter. Now, for a quick note, do keep in mind there is kind of like war cries in this game, and we do know what one of them does. Udir's Rage increases your physical damage, but you do need 22 Inferno to cast it. In my opinion, go udirangr warwolf, get the hardest hitting strength weapon you can, pair that with Udir's Rage after putting some points in Inferno, and you'll be doing some insane damage. The other class you could run is the Hollow Knight. Having 12 strength, 15 endurance, and 16 vitality, mix this with the Hollow Knight armor and shield that he starts out with, makes this class the tankiest class out of all the starting classes. Now for Dex, aka Agility. Here you have a few options to choose from. Up first with the highest stat in Agility is the Exiled Stalker. The starting stats for this class is 16 Agility, 11 Endurance, 11 Vitality, and 9 Strength. If you do choose this class, the gear you will get is 2 Exiled Stalker daggers, the Lacerating Knife, the Exiled Stalker armor, and 3 poison salts. Now, if this game follows Souls-like tradition, having dual daggers at the start of the game is going to allow you to have fantastic burst damage, as well as possibly having the best way to apply status effects on your enemies. Now, if you're looking to do damage from afar, the blackfeather ranger is the class for you. Still having decent agility at 13 and starting with the bow gives this class an advantage over the Exiled Stalker in the range damage department. Now, the last class you could run for agility is the Mornset Infantry. This class has split stats with 14 in agility and 12 in the strength. The gear you get when starting with this class is a spear, shield, short javelin, and the Mornset Infantry armor. Now having a spear allows this class to poke at his enemies, doing great damage from that medium melee range. Also sporting the short javelin allows decent range damage, as well as making this class the best middle ground between the two other classes. So the best and only class you can really run for Radiance is going to be the Orian Preacher. This class starts with 18 into Endurance, 11 Vitality, and 10 Strength. This class also starts out with a hammer, shield, and the Orian Preacher Catalyst, which makes radiant damage more potent, and the Orian Preacher Armor. Now like I said, there's no other class that you can start out with that has above 9 in a Radiance besides the Orian Preacher, making this the only class and really only option you have if you're trying to run a Radiance build right out of the gate. With Inferno, we kind of have the same case as we did with Radiance. Now, if you're trying to run an Inferno build, the only class you can really run is the Pyric Cultist. This class is 18 into Inferno and 11 into Endurance. He also starts out with a staff and the Pyric Cultist Catalyst, which acts as the same thing as the Orian Preacher Catalyst, which makes Inferno magic stronger, and the Pyric Cultist Armor. Now, just like the Radiance class, like I said, there's really no other class that has above 9 into Inferno besides the Pyric Cultist, so making this the really only option you have for an Inferno build. That's it for this video, but I am curious on what build you guys are going to go for. Are you going to go for a Strength or Dex build, or are you guys going to go for the Magic and go for Radiance or Inferno? Let me know in the comment section below. Personally, I'm going to go for a Dex build. I love running daggers, especially in the Souls-like titles, and if they're anything like it, dual daggers should be an excellent way of applying a status effect, and honestly, I just love the whole playstyle and look of running daggers. But that's it for this video. If you guys could hit a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know you guys enjoying this type of content, and to keep putting more content out like this in the future. I will be streaming this game as soon as I can, so I'll leave my link to my Twitch in the description of the video if you guys want to hit a follow there to get notified when I go live. I hope you guys do have a good rest of your day or night depending on when you're watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.